Dzień dobry. I'm in Warsaw, Poland, a city that has risen from the ashes more than once. Almost 85% of it was destroyed during World War II, yet it was rebuilt brick by brick from the rubble. Soviet-era towers still loom, a reminder of decades under communism. Join me as I explore the heart of Poland, one of the most remarkable countries in Europe. In 1944, during World War II, Polish resistance fighters launched the Warsaw Uprising to liberate the city from Nazi occupation. The attempt was heroic but failed, and as a punishment, Warsaw was systematically destroyed. So I'm standing right in front of the Warsaw Uprising Memorial. The Warsaw Uprising inspired international admiration for civilian resistance, and there are over 1,000 plaques, memorials and monuments dedicated to World War II events against Warsaw. The Warsaw Uprising lasted 63 days, and there were 40,000 Polish resistance fighters in the Home Army. Civilian deaths were approximately 150,000 to 200,000 deaths. As a punishment for this uprising, Hitler ordered Warsaw to be completely destroyed. Almost 85% of the city was destroyed. After the war, Warsaw's old town was painstakingly rebuilt using old paintings, photos and blueprints. And because of this authentic reconstruction, it's now a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So this is a rare example of a place which is barely 80 years old. The Warsaw Uprising inspired international admiration for civilian resistance. And there are over 1,000 plaques, memorials and monuments dedicated to World War II events across Warsaw. So this is the Old Town Square. All of these buildings were rebuilt from rubble. They were rebuilt from people's memories, brick by brick, and they were made to be exactly the same as they were in the old days. So from a city that was once reduced to rubble, Warsaw now has one of the fastest growing skylines in Central Europe, and it's a mixture of glass skyscrapers and Soviet-era blocks and beautiful buildings like this. I'm standing in front of one of Warsaw's many amber shops, and you're going to see a lot of these shops if you come here. Most of this amber actually comes from Kaliningrad, which is a small Russian region on the Baltic Sea, and this is actually on the border with Poland and Lithuania, and it's separated from the rest of Russia by 700 kilometers of land. And this Russian region produces up to 90% of the world's amber. But it is more than just amber, it's a heavily militarized exclave. So Kaliningrad used to be the German city of Königsberg, but it was completely repopulated after World War II. The German population was expelled and the Soviets moved in. Today it's home to Russian troops, missiles and Europe's largest amber reserves. Despite being part of Russia, it relies heavily on trade with Poland and Lithuania. So its amber trade links it economically to Poland and the EU, despite it being a Russian territory. And the fascinating thing about amber is that if you're holding a piece of amber in your hand, you're actually holding something that's between 44 to 50 million years old. Poland borders many countries besides the Russian enclave of Kaliningrad. So it actually borders Germany, the Czech Republic, Slovakia, Ukraine, Belarus and Lithuania. And this central position helps its role in trade and security. Poland currently has one of NATO's largest military forces, with over 216,000 personnel. It's the third largest in NATO after the US and Turkey, and the largest in the European Union. Poland also spends a high share of its GDP on defence, over 4%, one of the highest rates within NATO. So bearing all of that in mind, this is a very safe country and it feels like a very safe place to walk around. It does have one of the lowest crime rates in all of Europe. So yeah, there's like a high police presence here. You can see police all over the place. So they're keeping it really secure. Where I've just come from in London, that's not the case. I just filmed a video and you can see in the space of 2 hours, two men came up to me really close and were really aggressive. So you can see that in the Brixton and Camden video. That's not going to happen here. I've just come inside one of the churches in that old town. It's absolutely stunning. Look at the ceiling. So clearly you can see that it's been snowing, but the temperature is actually -8 degrees Celsius. That's the coldest temperatures I've ever been in, because usually I choose to go somewhere warm if I go abroad. So I'm going to look for somewhere to hide and get warm, probably one of the little coffee shops or cafeteria style restaurants. Let's see if we can find one. Okay, I found a coffee shop. It was just hidden. I thought it was a hotel. But anyway, look at this quiche. After World War II, Poland became a communist state under strong Soviet influence, but it was not one of the USSR's republics. It was part of the Eastern Bloc, meaning it had its own government, but it had to follow Moscow's military and political direction. The Polish had frequent protests and uprising against communist rule, and this made Poland one of the least obedient communist countries. The Solidarity movement was the first independent trade union in a communist country. It began in 1980, and the government tried to stop it with soldiers and arrests, but it survived. By 1989, its success helped end communism in Poland, and this also helped to trigger collapse of communism across Eastern Europe. Poland now has one of Europe's strongest growing economies, and it's considered an economic success because it transitioned from communism peacefully, and it's had steady growth since then, which is rare for post-communist countries. I'm sure you can think of some which haven't been that successful. In 2025, Poland's economy surpassed $1 trillion, making it the 20th largest economy in the world, surpassing Switzerland and several other developed countries. This reflects decades of steady growth and investment. Since the fall of communism, Poland was the only EU country that was able to avoid recession in the 2008 financial crisis. This was helped by domestic consumption and the independent currency. Unlike many EU countries, Poland does not use the euro. It uses the zloty. This has given Poland more control over its monetary policy and helped it respond more flexibly in global financial crises. So from what I can see during my trip here, the economy is booming. It's clean, safe, it looks beautiful, even if it is -8 degrees. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this video up here. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And I'll see you in the next one. So far, so good.